Hello, I'm Tim Moody, President and CEO of Pan Global Resources.
Hi, how are you?
Very
Welcome
good, thanks.
to Londinium. I know you're the conference next door. How's it going?
Yeah, and it's been busy. We've had 2 days of back-to-back meetings. I've ducked out and left CFO to man the ship. So
Good on you. Thanks for joining us. Copper is king at the moment, so people are interested. They want to know what's going on, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, there's no shortage of interest and people optimistic about the future for copper. And it's a really diverse group that we've been talking to the last couple of days.
It's kind of interesting, actually. I think in terms of the types of people that come to these conferences, in terms of, okay, there's clearly going to be shareholders, et cetera, but it's like the funds, what's going on. It's the royalty and streaming companies, what's going on? Can we give you some money? But they're not going to do that if they didn't think there's a future in it.
Yeah.
So how are you finding it?
Well, we're still finding some companies that are just finding out about Pan Global.
Right.
Copper project in Spain. Oh, I didn't know about that. That sounds interesting.
Unusual.
So those are good meetings, good discussions. But I think one observation more than any other time in the last few years is the number of companies that we're talking to that might have funds that have a green credential, whether it's technology or some sort of aspect that's going to lead into the energy transition or critical minerals or so on. So I think that's we're having a lot more of those discussions, and obviously copper's front and centre.
It's up there. But here's the thing I want to talk to you about, because it's like, if I'm a shareholder of your company, I want to know that you're moving forward. I want to know there's growth in the future, and you're not kind of hiding out around the back of the kitchen trying to avoid the conversation. So you raised that money, you got $6 million away, which in this market is pretty darn good going. That's the case. What are you going to do with it? What's the best allocation of that capital?
So well, firstly, I'll say that money, we're running our program so that we can go through to 2025.
Okay. So last year, year and a bit.
We don't know what the next 12 months is going to bring. We've just seen 12 months of pretty tough times. So we're going to be really careful with our money, make sure every dollar counts. That's the first thing.
Okay.
So that'll give us a chance to see if the market starts to turn around, as most people are predicting, hoping, expecting, whatever. So within that $6 million, it does give us that flexibility now to run the program. It's pretty hard to run with 4 reefs with that. But we do want to keep the drill rig turning. So that's really important for us. We want to give people reasons to invest. We've got a planned program on the western extension of our discovery, Romana. We've got a drill program and a drill rig on site at the moment testing the new discovery at Cañada Honda. So we've got 11 holes planned on that. And then we're also looking at advancing the resource together with a PEA sometime this year. And I think under all scenarios, we'll probably look closer at the PEA and resource.
Interesting. Okay, so let's get, I want to kind of get honed in on this money, right? So the money will last you through 2025. So that's good. But you're not just, doing nothing. It's a case of advancing both discoveries. So can we talk about precisely what you think, or maybe your drill planning isn't quite there yet? I don't know where you're at with that, but what are you going to do and why?
Yeah, so we announced a 25-hole program to test the western extension of the Romana discovery. Yeah, we've completed 20 holes of that 25. We still have 9 holes to report, and we've got 5 holes to complete.
Right.
So whilst we're waiting for those 9 holes to come in, and there was a bit of rain, so we've moved the rig up to Cañada Honda, where we had 10 holes planned initially. We've already increased that by 1 hole, so we've got 11 holes planned. The drill rig is there, and it'll drill sort of 5 or 6 holes, and then we'll go back to Romana.
But and you put out drills very recently. Look quite attractive. From what was going on?
So there were another batch of 5 holes. So we've reported now 11 holes from the 25-hole program on that western extension. It's showing the mineralization is continuing. That same simple geometry is continuing. But what was really exciting for us was the 16 metres of over % copper in the northwesternmost hole, together with the geophysics.
And what sort of depths are we talking about?
That would be about 100 metres,
so
even
real
less.
Shallow
Stuff,
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And we know it continues all the way to surface with this old mine workings up dip. So, but this we did some downhole in that downhole geophysics, which shows a conductor. That is telling us there's good potential for that +% mineralization to continue. So,
right, okay.
So watch this space.
Okay, I am, because I'm very interested in copper. But okay, let's kind of get into a little bit more detail, if you don't mind. So we know kind of the what you're doing. Let's explain the why, because you've referenced there, well, maybe resource, maybe PEA. So what is the plan?
Yeah, so the goal has been for some time. I describe ourselves as being resource ready. We've drilled now 180 drill holes. Yeah, we know a lot about the deposit. It's very simple geometry. We've got metallurgy, all of that sort of thing. We could come out with a resource. Yeah. However, we think we've got something that's standalone today. Yeah. Every additional ton we find is going to be accretive to the NPV, and when we come out with a resource, we want to come out and maximise the tons and grade as before we do that. So we've got a really good chance to make a big difference with the drilling to the west. Right. Already with the drilling we've done in that western extension, added 250, 300 metres of strike extent. That's pretty significant, really. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to, because it's very difficult in this market to know what to do, because whatever people do isn't getting the reaction that it used to. That's for sure. But at the same time, you kind of got to, in terms of the companies that you're speaking to, you want to put some economics on it, really, don't you? You want to sense of you are resource ready, but resource ready at what size? Yeah. So how do you get that balance? So it is a balance. We don't want to just go on forever and ever. We've got a resource there. Yeah. But look, we've got the program that we've set out now. Just let's see if it continues. If it's still continuing, that's great. We can then take a decision. Is that enough? Right. Do we then go ahead with a resource? Or do we see how Cañada Honda, then the other target, is progressing? If we keep hitting on that, well, we might say, well, okay, we've got two things here that might come into a potential
Are they still, how far apart are they?
About 3 kilometres. Okay.
And could that possibly work in the future as a consolidated mine?
Yeah, it would be very typical in this province for these deposits. They talk about clusters of deposits. Neves Corvo, famous mine. Yeah. 7 different ore bodies make up that cluster.
Right. Okay.
So we're within the cluster. Yeah, within that distance, 3 kilometres to the north. This would all feed into a single plant. Could be managed by the same as part of the same operation.
Right. So. And considering money is at a premium at the moment, and considering every dollar counts and every meter counts. Can you afford to do any kind of, I guess, outlier type holes, just to kind of see how those things strings together?
We're going to continue to monitor how the market's going. The initial priorities, that western extension drilling, the follow-up at Cañada Honda, the new discovery. So those things should, if we continue to hit, should be really positive for the market. We'll continue to monitor. Is things starting to improve, and are the retail investors coming back? Is the copper price starting to rise? Those sorts of things that might encourage us to then let's keep the drill rig sort of turning more vigorously and start to test some of these other targets. As you know, we're target rich. We've got no shortage of places to drill. So I'd like to be testing some of these other targets that we've got. Really moving them forward to drill ready. Not to forget, we're still waiting for access to one of our biggest and high priority targets to the east.
Because it's one of those things, like in terms of signalling and narrative into the market, it's a case of like, here's the drilling that we're doing, and this is why. I get what you said today. Yeah. And it's, but how do you convey the importance of it? It's like you're saying we're doing it this way because what? Because it allows us to kind of build a picture of how we build the says one sort of joint mine in the future. Would you say I just need some high grade numbers on the headlines because that's what people are actually?
Yeah, well, the way I'm saying is, I'd rather come out with a bigger number. Yeah. Rather than rush out at a deposit. Yes, look, there's always going to be upside to these things, but
you're stepping out properly.
We are stepping out. We can see we can see where the target can extend. So let's see if it's extending. We don't have to drill at the same densities we've drilled the rest of the deposit.
Yeah.
We're happy with inferred.
Yeah. Okay.
And so let's just see how it's developing in that direction, and let's say, okay, we've got enough on that one. But I think it really is. It does give us some additional flexibility if we do have a significant discovery in the north and the new target as well.
Okay.
But that sort of changes the way you look at the whole potential.
I guess what I was getting at, a better way of putting it is, I've seen some companies try to be cute in this market and say they don't do big step outs. They're just looking for drill headlines. So they do these little small step outs where they practically guarantee. It doesn't tell them how big the resource is or what the opportunity is, but you're going about it the right way.
These are all step outs.
Meaningful step outs. I'm trying to build size here, not work the market, as it were.
Yeah, these are all step out holes.
Okay, okay.
No, every hole's got to count. That's the way we're looking at because we know money's tight. We want the money to go as far as it can.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that every hole, every meter counts, and that. So we're putting a lot of effort into making really careful analysis before we drill every hole.
Okay, and just in terms of metrics, just give me something I can. Yeah. I get what you're trying to finish off in terms of the two locations. How many new meters will be planned for next year? Do you know yet, or when will you know?
Yeah, so we're just finalising the numbers at the moment, and we'll present that. We'll usually get seek approval for the plan for the next year's plan at the end of the year. So that meeting's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
We've nearly finalised that. We'll get it off the board and see if they agree.
Okay.
But we'll have a couple of different scenarios. But the first will be let's assume we're going to run right through to 2025.
Yeah.
Maximise the drilling. Keep the drill rate turning. Look at having the resource together with the PEA sometime during the year.
Okay.
And those are both meaningful goals. And if the market starts to turn positive in the meantime, that will give us a much more, let's say, optimistic view of things, and allow us to turn the drill rig onto other targets as well.
Okay, well, let's hope so. We're locked and loaded. Go do it.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.